Oh, we're
I'm
live.
live. All right. Hi, Clark.
Hi, Grace.
Well,
Clark Howard here, and I want to get you prepped for what's going on with this Christmas season, which is kind of unique. I mean, we thought last Christmas was unique. This one has a few more wrinkles than last Christmas, and Grace is here to join with me talking about all the deals and lack thereof this Christmas.
Yeah, that's exciting.
How far along are you with your family Christmas shopping? Haven't started.
Well, Latin people wait until like the last minute. But no, we actually decided.
Idea muy malo
I know.
por esta Natividad? How would you say?
Navidad.
Navidad, sí.
Sí. That was good, Clark. No,
mi
we
español es
decided.
terrible.
Está bien, muy bien.
Solo en inglés, all right?
Yeah, English.
Okay.
English.
So anyway, this is going, I'm sorry for the very bad Spanish that just came your way, but I want you to know this is going to require some real navigating on your part to be able to handle this holiday season. I'm not kidding. You do not delay this year unless you want to disappoint your wallet and your kids.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Because this one, because of the supply chain disruptions, is going to be very, very ad hoc, require flexibility on your part, and you got to know the calendar. So let me step back a second and tell you what's happening. All right, let me give you an example. Costco normally has a furniture event that ends mid-June. If you walk into Costco now, you're likely to still find furniture on the floor. And here we are in November. And this furniture is from the sale that was supposed to happen months ago. Because with the disruptions and delays, the stuff that was supposed to be in the stores in May, sold through by mid-June, is still sitting there because it just arrived.
I did see some stuff at my local Costco.
Weird, didn't it?
Yeah, it was farther out, not in the same spot, but there was some, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't imagine what it's like for them figuring out how to merch right now, because they normally work on a very tight calendar, and that doesn't work right now. Walmart did away with layaway this year because they couldn't make layaway work with the supply chain disruptions. So what I want you to know is there are specific dates that are going to work for your advantage at different retailers. And it truly is something that this year you cannot be haphazard in how you decide when to shop, where to shop, and all the rest. You got to know the sale calendar. And we have this online for you at all the big retailers. And a lot of the sales actually start this week.
What?
This week.
It's November 1st.
Yeah. And if you wait till the month says December, this is a family show, so I won't say what is going to happen to you if you don't get the shopping done.
Message.
But you get the idea that November is your friend, December is your wallet's enemy this year. And normally where you expect everything backloaded into the last week of November surrounding Thanksgiving, what we used to call Black Friday and then Black Friday week, now the big deals are going to be much earlier, and the things you want may not be available anyway. A couple of things you should know. A lot of categories are similarly priced to prior Thanksgiving periods, but some things are significantly more expensive. Now, one of the most popular items every Thanksgiving through Black Friday is television.
TV. I got
TVs.
it. Yeah.
And TVs this year, by comparison to prior years, are a ripoff.
How come?
All right, so chip shortage. We have this terrible shortage of computer chips. So if I'm Samsung, LG, Hisense, TCL, whoever, I'm taking Sony. I wonder who I forgot. Anyway, I'm taking the few chips I can get, and I'm putting them in the most expensive televisions that I can run down an assembly line. I'm not going to take them and put them into an $89 doorbuster for Thanksgiving. Not going to happen. So if you don't need a TV this year,
Don't buy one.
right. If you are somebody who has to have the latest, greatest, most expensive, blah, 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 new technology TV, and you love overspending, you'll be fine because there's tons of inventory on the really, really expensive TVs. But when I look at what we've got posted on Clark Deals for the best TV deals that are coming up this week, a lot of them, they're not horrible deals, but they're not like we've had in prior years. Here's one. So on today's the first. So on Wednesday, Walmart's going to have a 55-inch TCL for $228. Now, if you know your prices, a 55-inch for $228 is a yawner. But this year, that's a good deal if you want or need a TV. But my favorite is a Target deal coming up Thursday, if you can find it. It is an Element, which is an off-brand TV, but it's a 65-inch at Target for $300. Still, not as cheap as we would have the last year or two, but a relatively good deal. So I want you to think about that. Next time you're in an electronics store or you're in Costco or Sam's, Best Buy, you go look at the 65-inch TVs, and you'll be shocked how expensive they are if you put in your mind that I said, hey, look, Target's got a 65-inch for $300 this week. You're going to go into Costco and you're going to see 65-inch TVs that are $1,400 or something because they have every feature known to humankind.
Oh, because okay, gotcha.
So they're featuring them out. Same thing's happening with appliances, where the appliance manufacturers are only running down the assembly line the really, really fancy ones and all the rest. Now, there are some categories that were very, very expensive last year, expensive the first half of this year, that are, again, a decent price. In fact, I dare say deal now, and it's what's right in front of you.
Computers,
because of the transition last year, starting in March, to people working at home and kids doing home school. Computers were in extreme short supply. Plus, a lot of the assembly lines were closed in Asia because factories were overrun with COVID, workers working really close together. They shut down for long periods of time. We've had the transport delays with the ships and the trucks and the ports and blah, 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 blah. That's resolved with computers at all different levels of sophistication and price points. We've got really, really cheap.
that Chromebook.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that still available?
Walmart Wednesday, it doesn't start till Wednesday,
Oh, November 3rd. Sorry,
has a
excuse
bargain
me.
Chromebook, $87.
That is really
And,
cheap.
yeah, buying a computer for less than $100. Now, you know what $87 buys in an Apple product?
He doesn't even buy the headphones.
No, it might buy you like
The band, like the little
it
band
might
for the
buy
watch.
you a phone case for a discontinued iPhone. I mean, that's about it. So this is not Apple we're talking about. This is, in this case, is a Samsung Chromebook. Think about it, an entire working computer for $87. And there are lots and lots of deals, whether you do want the new Apple MacBooks with the M1 chip, or which is Apple's proprietary chip, or you want an LG, or you want a variety of brands of laptops, you're going to find really decent deals through the month of November. And we will continually update, and we do a daily guide to the best computer deals. Clothing is an odd thing right now. Clothing was in enormous oversupply a year ago when we pivoted to working from home for the third of Americans who could work from home. And what were the hot items last year? Sweats.
I was going to say, everybody loves their
T-shirts.
sweatpants.
Yeah. It's funny, there's a board I'm a member of that historically people were dressed up, like just really, really dressed up, very conservative business attire, and we'd be face to face. And then we go to Zoom, and people would come in with their hair like pointing up like this, and in clothes that, well, we're not exactly
I'm
flattering.
always on my gym clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so now people are starting to do hybrid work who were able to work from home. People are starting to buy clothes dressier than I wear again. And so the clothing market that had no demand for nicer stuff is starting to pick up. So guess what's a deal right now? Casual stuff.
Oh.
Because we've cycled and the manufacturing lead times are so long. I needed some sweatpants because we have a new puppy. I got to take the puppy out, walk the puppy. It's getting cold. And wearing my shorts, walking the puppy, not working. So I go online and I find a deal on Clark Deals on a set of 3 sweatpants really cheap.
Nice.
And I ordered them. And so the kind of things that were in extreme demand a year ago, now available. And so the ultimate lesson is you pivot to what the marketplace is giving you. The calendar for the sales is very important. And then what you buy. So people have learned in the supermarket, you brand substitute. My wife Lane and my son Grant are obsessed with eating something called basmati rice.
Okay.
Which I actually have an anaphylactic allergy to, and my throat will close up and stuff. It's really bad. I don't know why I'm allergic to basmati rice. But they have had to adjust to having a variety of brands of it when it's available because it's been in stock, out of stock, in stock, out of stock. And you adjust. And so you learn to eat blah, blah, blah brand that you've never heard of before. That's a lot of what you're having to do with daily shopping and specifically with Christmas. So, and I'd like to go to some questions if we could, but I forgot one thing.
All right.
One thing I want to talk about before we go to questions. And you can certainly pop me some questions too, but I wanted to talk about with the sale calendar extended, most of the big boxes are offering extended price protection cycles. So if you buy something and then later it's cheaper, if you keep good records, maintain your receipts, you'll be able to get the difference back. The other thing is return cycles. You were able this year, which we also had last year, that if you buy something extra early, like now, for Christmas, you give it to somebody and they smile, and it's like, wow, what made Clark think I'd want that, right? Anyway, and I'm really bad at buying the right stuff for people. So you're going to have extended returns times, both based on the day of Christmas or the day of purchase. The cycles are really long. Now, Costco, other than electronics, you can bring something back forever. You don't even have to have your receipt. But on electronics, you got 90 days. So if you buy something now and the recipient's like, I sure don't want that, you're good. You're good going forward.
So I want to start with a fun question. What are you buying?
So
are you done shopping?
No, this is going to sound weird, but we do no holiday shopping in our family, and we use what would have gone to holidays where each kid gets to say what charity or charities are important to them. And we take the money we would have spent buying gifts or on each other, and we give it to charities. And it's because, we're spoiled brats. We have everything we could possibly want or need, and we don't need to do any gift giving.
Yeah, my kids are still very little, so I still have to, Santa still needs to come around. This is Laura Burns is asking, hi, Clark, do you know any good deals on gaming PC?
Okay, so this is funny because Krista, our boss, she and I were just talking about this earlier today because there was a flash sale last Thursday on the PS5, which is like the game player that people have wanted recently. And it was being sold at full retail, but it was a flash sale because people haven't been able to get them. So I bought a PS5 we didn't need, knowing that somebody who I know and care about would want it to be able to give as a gift to someone. And I was telling Krista about it, and so somebody's going to want that PS5, and I'll just pass it on at what I paid for it. But with the game players, it's going to be stuff like that. You're going to have to be lucky in the marketplace to find one available, because they're affected by two things. What's the first thing we did starting March of last year with COVID? We went into a bunker. We all were like,
we were hiding
home
yeah.
a lot more. And
Yeah.
so things like that were snapped up like crazy. And the chip shortage enters into this. So these things combined to a conspiracy against our wallets. So you got to be lucky on the gaming stuff. And I just happened to see this spot sale. Bam. I was on. How ridiculous is that? I bought something I
don't know.
had no need for, but I knew someone in my circle would absolutely want to have it for themselves or their kids.
Yeah,
And
I
so
know people. I have
bought
a
it.
friend who's bought a lot of baby clothes before she even got pregnant. So it's really interesting. I don't. There's no judgment. There's a really cool question here from Trio Mom One. She asked, "What do you get for an older family member who has everything?"
So I've got a list at clarkdeals.com for this, because this is something that's come up with me year after year after year. Is that I'm an old guy. I'm 66. People say, I mean, what in the world would I ever buy you? I mean, it's like really hard. So we went to work trying to come up with a list of things that would be good potential gifts for someone who's older, who you're like, I don't know what to buy them.
I know. I heard a really cool one. My son's guitar teacher couldn't figure out what to give it to his mother, and I said, "How about you just call her and play a song?" And he goes, "They're jaded. Or just listen to me playing all the time." I'm like, "You'll be surprised. And Mom would love to." And she loved it. He did it, and she loved it. It was free, and she was crying. So
All right.
it's really
Do you know
cool.
what gift people give me routinely?
What?
Bottle of wine, which
Oh,
is so
and-
funny because I don't drink. So I get these bottles of wine.
I would love them, Clark. You know, just bring into the studio. I think we could have a lovely wine party here.
Do you think that would be great if we were drinking on a Facebook
Yes,
Live? No, I don't think
yes.
that would be a good idea. Okay, so this is more information than you need to know. But forever ago, after there had been some tragic deaths from DUIs, and I at the time was a local radio host, we came up with this idea with the station program director that on New Year's Eve, I would drink shots of pre-measured whiskey on the air with the state
Oh God.
trooper there taking my
Vitals.
breathalyzer
Okay,
thingy,
got it.
and to see the deterioration in my skills over time. Try to make it clear to people on New Year's Eve
Where
on
was
amateur
I
night.
then?
Don't drink and drive. Well, before the shift was over, I passed out on the floor. I was literally
God.
out cold on the floor.
Great time for smartphones not to be around, because it would have been great memes then. No.
Well,
Long time ago.
I'm the cheapest drunk ever. One beer, I'm done. Go ahead,
All
Chris.
right. So, do you, 59 Cotton Candy, another follower, asked, do you have a list of stores or websites that will have extend their return window until or after Christmas for gifts purchased early as October? As
Yeah,
we
I
talked
kind of
about that Costco,
addressed
yeah.
that a few minutes ago, that the return windows are pretty generous this year, which is an interesting change, because 2 years ago I was talking about how stores were getting tougher and tougher to return items to them, and this year it's actually gone the other way. It's important, though, that you ask. I think of an example of this. So we've had so many complaints from people who've paid deposits for furniture. And I don't know if you know about this, because remember we were talking about Costco with the furniture
Yeah.
and how it came in really late. So people are going into a furniture store, they're seeing a sofa, and they say, oh, well, we don't have that in stock right now, but if you pay this 25% deposit, you'll have the furniture in 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever. And then 4 or 6 weeks comes along, no furniture. And then, 4 or 6 months comes along, still no furniture. And they say, can I have my money back? They say, no. So you got to be really aware with the supply chain issues and the shortages that before you pay deposits for something or whatever, you need to know what your right is to have that money back. By the way, with the furniture stores, this is Business Law 101. When they don't meet a delivery time, in most states, you would have a legal right to get that money back. But the problem is, how are you going to assert those rights with a business that may not even have the money available anyway? So know up front what the rules are, what you're agreeing to when you pay deposits for furniture or anything else that you're going to receive, hopefully at a later time, before you ever hand over your money.
Oh, look at this, Luann. Any cool games for 30-year-olds shipping to Germany by the end of November? Well, I'm 38. A game like a board game?
No, I think we're talking
like
probably
gaming,
video game.
like
but I don't know anything about it. Way over my head.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Sorry.
Let's see here. From Nancy Jacob Schaefer. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. What is the most economical TV streaming and internet offer right now? Oh, I want to know that too, because I have very inefficient internet service right now.
All right. So there are varieties. There are actually far fewer choices than there were 2 years ago for streaming. There's been some consolidation, but for most people, the best combination of choice of channels and price is going to be Sling.
Oh, yeah.
Sling is a service of the Dish Network people, and it's moved up over the years from $20 a month to $25 a month to $30, and now the base is
$10.
$35 a month.
No, I signed up for $14.99 to watch the Braves game.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Well, I did, and my husband did.
Okay.
I don't care that much.
So Sling is overall the best deal, but the big thing now, and I have this is a little footnote. My brother Gary, who you also know, Gary is so much cheaper than I am.
Oh, no.
Yes, he is.
Tell me.
Oh, Gary is
cheaper than you, Clark.
Much cheaper
no
than
way.
I am. Yes.
What? Okay, go ahead.
So what Gary has done is, he was bragging about this to me the other day, is he's using all kinds of free streaming services, which is the hottest area of streaming, are free content services, typically ad supported, but you can watch more content than you ever have hours in the day for free. And we've got a briefing on a lot of those free streams on Clark.com if you go look at our streaming guide. And so, and we have a tool that you can pick for paying for streaming. You can list the channels that are most important to you and see which streaming service gets you the most bang for your streaming buck. But my brother isn't going to pay. And by the way, I've had so many people that have been upset as could be about locast.org.
I know,
shutting
they're
down,
gone.
Which was a fantastic nonprofit. The bigs and media went after them with all the high-price law firms, got a judge to shut them down, even though they were a nonprofit providing free streaming of local channels in most markets of the United States. And people want to know what to do now. And there are a number of strategies you can do to get local channels for free that require more work than just downloading Locast. But this is something that I want to beef up on our streaming guide on Clark.com, because there are new ways emerging for you to be able to get back those local channels for free. And you were talking about baseball. See, you know what my life is.
Football.
Football is my life. And not what people around the world call football, that round thing. No, the oblong one, football.
Oh, the American football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So football is my life. And as an example, yesterday I had 2 TVs going at the same time and a third game on my phone.
God. But were you watching Braves last night? No. No.
And the Astros. Don't forget.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I keep thinking
that's the team that.
That's the I know.
You know, the team
Should
that
I
has a
pretend I
cloud
care?
over them as because
Go
of the
Braves.
cheating scandal. So we'll see what happens with Game 6 and maybe Game 7. But anyway.
Luann clarified. She won a board or a card game. So Luann, I don't know. Did they speak English? I really like.
The reason for English is the games are
well,
going to Germany, so they could be U.S. military personnel.
Yeah.
Based
Uno
in one of the
Uno
huge
is a
bases.
universal. Uno. You know the card game Uno.
Uno.
It's
dos,
awesome.
tres.
No, just Uno.
Uno.
Solo Uno. It's great. It's small and it'd be cheap, but I really like this Cards Against Humanity. I really like it. It requires some good sense of humor for you to play because it can be a little raw, but I like it.
I wasn't done with my football story.
Oh, sorry.
See, I
I'm
bored
so
you
sorry.
much
I interrupted
with football,
you.
But remember, football is my
your
life.
life. Yeah, I'm
So
sorry.
that's the beauty of the local channels is you're going to be able to watch the games across networks with local channels. And that's why I'm going to see what we can do to give the options as easily as we can for you to replace Locast with other ways to stream. One of them involves a USB device that you plug into a laptop or into a television in order to be able to get the local channels. And I'll make sure that you have that information moving forward.
How do you watch it?
How do I watch football? So I have NFL Sunday Ticket.
Okay.
Because that way I get, you know what that is? No. It's a incredibly overpriced service that gets me every game going on.
Oh, yeah. So you got tickets
the
to see it live. Okay.
So I get to see every game from everywhere because I just love NFL football.
Because it's your life.
It is. I mean, it's the most amazing game ever. So I want you to know with the Christmas shopping, we got way off topic
Did
there.
we? Oh, my gosh. Krista's,
Your
thank God
fault or
Krista's
mine?
here. Mine, probably.
So let's have, I want you to know that the calendar this year, if you're just tuning in, is your friend or your enemy. You've got to follow the sales cycles, and they're not uniform. Home Depot doing its own thing. Lowe's doing its own thing. Target, Walmart, Costco, Sam's, they each have their sales events, but they are heavily front-loaded this week and next week. And then when we get to Black Friday week, it's almost old news by Black Friday week this year. And know that a lot of items that are promoted and advertised for sale aren't actually going to be available because they won't have arrived.
Okay.
So I'm expecting what the retailers will do is they will have some form of make good later on the items that did not inventory in time. We're going to have continuous updates for you pretty much around the clock through the Christmas selling cycle at Clark Deals. And if you want to keep up to date on the deals, we've got our Clark Deals newsletter. It's really, really expensive, isn't it, Grace?
Oh, I can afford it. Yes, I can.
Because it's free.
It's free.
It's
Sign
free.
up.
So at clarkdeals.com is where you can sign up for the newsletter. And I hope you will do so and grab a hold of the bargains. But the most important rule I have, it's not a bargain if you're spending money you don't have. Please come up with a budget for your Christmas shopping and stick to that budget so that you keep your wallet protected. You're not doing yourself or your loved ones any favor when you spend money you can't afford to spend.
Lovely.
And I want to thank you so much for joining us today for today's Facebook Live.
Thank you, Clark.
And
It's my
Grace,
first
thank
time.
you
I'm sorry
for-
I got off topic and I cut you. And
No, it's fine. And it's funny. I look like I'm like a foot shorter than you. The
but
way
it's
we
usually
did
this
today.
way.
Yeah. We can stand up and let people see our.
Oh, there's.
actual
Can
heights.
we answer one more question, Krista? Okay, one more. So
You see who the
I-
boss is,
I
right?
actually-
right?
yeah.
You turn and you look at Krista. You want to come on camera and say hello, Krista?
So I actually want to know this question, even though I don't do that for my kids. But is there any hot toys right now? Like I think a few years ago was like a. No, you don't know what that is. Like remember when
the most in
hot
toys,
toy
the it
that
toys.
yeah.
You know, I don't know
I don't
because I'm
either.
out of the
I don't
demo
do
of
that.
having
yeah.
young children like you
And
have.
I don't do but I don't do that. I don't buy hot. I usually just give them 2 presents, one from Santa and another one from us, and it's usually an experience, so like a trip or something. I'm not really generous like you are.
Yeah. The
iPhone?
all-important gift for a 2-year-old. You buy them an overpriced
An
iPhone, right?
No way. No way. I don't even have the new iPhone myself.
Okay, so we had a cousin's lunch yesterday, a brunch, and it was really funny because just haphazardly, 3 out of 4 of us had Androids, and the cousin who had an iPhone was like,
Why?
"Why do you use those things? Nobody uses an Android." I was like, "Yes, they do." And then I didn't have to say anything because the 2 other cousins were like,
Everybody in your team.
they were like all talking about how
Amazing Android was. Yeah.
it all happened because when I was looking something up and I showed what it was like having
Holy shoes. I love those.
the incredible experience of
To
the-
open your phone looks
yeah,
like a
the
book.
Fold 3 or whatever it's called.
This is cool.
And fold it up.
Look
It's
at
a
that.
regular phone. You open it
You
up
are-
and it's a tablet. So, if you want to know what your iPhone is going to do, just look at what an Android does 3 years earlier, and then you'll know what Apple is going to offer for twice the money 3 years later.
God. All right. Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Somebody wrote too a few people wrote on our DMs this morning, and I was checking them out.
DMs.
Do you know what a DM is?
Okay, so Krista was talking about Clark's Christmas Kids. If you're not aware, it is our effort to see that children in foster care have gifts Christmas morning. And this year, we are all online. We will not be physically taking your donations. We will be taking your money. And you get to pick out a child or children you'd like to be buying gifts or gifts for. You get to know the kid's name, how old he or she is, boy or girl. You get to know what gifts they want. And then you give us the money that's approximate to what that gift will cost to buy. And then we buy those gifts. We see to them that that child in foster care has those gifts Christmas morning. And we will be launching Clark's Christmas Kids, our 31st year of helping out foster children Christmas morning. In just a couple of weeks, we'll make sure you're aware the date that we go live to receive your donations. I want to thank you if you have donated any of the prior 30 years, if you donated last year, whenever, or if this would be your first year, thank you in advance for helping children in foster care have gifts Christmas morning. This is really, really important to me because children in foster care, it's just a brutal thing. They didn't do anything wrong. The adults in their lives, for whatever reason, could not take care of them. They end up in foster care. And I want these kids to know that an absolute stranger who will never meet them loves them. And that's the role I ask you to play. So thank you very much for being with us and joining us.
Thank you, guys.
And have a wonderful rest
This
of
is
your
weird.
day.